What is up, everybody, and welcome back to What's Up Wednesdays with the professionals at the round table. Right now, we are joined by some aspiring professionals. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, you guys may already know me. I'm from Figuring It Out on Fridays with Sahan and Michael. And we have some new faces who have been part of this project and making their first appearance today with us on Wednesday. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hey guys, I'm Pret. You may recognize me because I was on Friday one time, but I've been behind the scenes a little bit here and there. But you know, I'm now like on the main stage for a little bit.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm pre-med student, and I am also part of the Friday Boys podcast. I work behind the scenes, and slowly it's time for us to s- move to the screens. So,
Stepping up, right?
yep.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for joining me today. So, I heard, little birdie told me, that we might have something big coming up on the Friday podcast before too long. Can you sneak us a little info about that?
So we can't be giving out all the secrets, but
Of course, of course.
we can tell you that there is a challenge that is in the works, and it's a self improvement challenge. And the beauty about it is it's going to be very unique to every individual who does the challenge. The As the weeks come closer, and we probably will get the challenge out towards end of May, early June. Uh, we'll give you more and more details, and we hope once we bring the challenge out, you guys will join us.
Awesome. Is it more so like a physical, what you eat, mental kind of a thing, or am I asking for too much?
You're hinting it a little too much, but
Sorry.
it's all good. We understand the curiosity behind the challenge. It's a pretty big thing. Changing everyone's habits and lifestyles. But we will be focusing on all of those. How to improve in your mental, physical, and uh, social aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, if we put the physical challenge aside, what's the most challenging for you guys when it comes to dealing with your own health? If it's mental, if it's physical, if it's finding the balance between everything, where do you struggle the most and how do you get through it?
Well, that's a very unique question, and I think we all would have very different answers.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I guess it's like time management and discipline and giving into it, like all in. Time management, as I mentioned, I'm a pre-med student full time. I'm also a scribe part time. So it's like having a time management requires a big, big energy and big step from
Mm,
you. And also discipline, I would say. If you're disciplined, I believe you can like achieve anything and overcome any challenge.
yeah. So finding the balance between the two. What would you say?
I would agree with them. I would say mostly the same things. One of the big things with like any new diet or anything like that is like finding like fitting into the routine of it and like
Mm,
finding out like what you need to do, finding time to get through it and like taking the time for yourself especially to like really get into like the feel of things, I would say. And as like a third year pre-med student in my junior year, like it's harder to find times because like I feel like most of the bulk of my classes are in this year, and like most of them like are definitely harder than I would say in my previous years. So I was definitely taking a bunch more time towards
yeah.
that.
How do you make the time for yourself between everything? Like your schedule can't be light.
No, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but like once you know, like set a group for yourself, like set like a schedule, like this is what I'm gonna do today, this is what I'm gonna do tomorrow. You just have to
Hmm.
like keep ahead of yourself and know like where all the deadlines are. Yeah, I was a big procrastinator, like during high school, even now. But like, I feel like time management has helped me like get like a little bit through that.
Yeah. What about you, Alex?
I don't want to repeat myself and repeat them as I am a pre med student as well. But I do believe perseverance and resilience in this aspects are two major key factors one should always keep in their toolbox.
Mm,
And I always do believe it's about the journey, not the destination.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have to enjoy the experience of the pre med and keeping a healthy lifestyle
Yeah.
rather than focusing, oh, I need to get the degree, I need to get the degree. Because
Mm,
then you're focusing on one thing while you should be enjoying everything at the same time.
Yeah. Do you think it helps you with the stress too? I know I haven't been to college, but high school stressed me out enough.
Yeah, every now and then you do have those moments where like, oh my God, I have 3 exams tomorrow,
Mhm.
and I have a podcast also later in that day. But I like to do the deep box breathing technique. So you take everything in at once. Yeah. Do you have any tips on how to on your stress?
I'm a dog person.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm having a bad day and I can have pretty long days between, training the dogs, my full-time job, coming here, doing the podcast, 10 minutes when I get home. 10 minutes if I sit down, my dog grabs a toy, and it's like just in that moment, there's nothing happier. Like when you have an animal, they don't understand taxes. They don't understand bills. They don't understand a 9 to 5 job, but they're just purely untapped, just the essence of innocence and their happiness and their joy. Like there's nothing more pure than that. I always say like the best thing about dogs is that they remind you to stop and smell the roses. Do you guys have any pets that like you can kind of resonate with that with?
I have a pet hamster. His name's Ronaldo.
Mhm.
I have mentioned him on here before. He's very close to my heart, and I really do love him with everything I have. Um, but he also, obviously, he's not as big as a dog.
He doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but it's about what's on the inside.
Yeah.
And for me, sometimes I do just be talking to him, even though he can't talk back, even with his sprouty little nose of his. But I do feel like we have a genuine connection,
Yeah.
and that even though he might not understand everything I'm going through, it's a good way to lay off the stress. Talking to
Yeah.
an animal, because it's an emotional support
And
animal.
they're pure. I've
Yeah.
got 2 lizards at home. I got 2 leopard geckos. I had them before I had my dog, and they used to be the best part of my day. Now they're a bundle deal. I can't pick a favorite child.
Oh.
What about you guys? Do you have pets? Do you have?
Yeah, I have 2 cats,
Mhm.
and I agree with the stress-free part. Like, let's say I worked overnight, went from school to work overnight, and I come home. These 2 just waiting for me, waiting for a treat. It just also makes you happier that someone believes in you, that you're gonna come back,
Mhm.
and also like you share your emotions with them, so it makes you more relieved. I would say.
Yeah.
It helps you go through all these challenges and stuff.
Absolutely.
It's really wholesome.
I feel like I can relate a little bit less to you guys because I had a pet frog,
Mhm.
but I had him like in like middle school and elementary, and he was actually like a free pet that my teacher gave to me, because like at the end of her class she'd let you choose between like a frog or like a shoe horse crab, if you guys are familiar with those. And I chose the frog, and it was really nice for a while it lasted because it was like something that you get to take care of.
Yeah.
And he really looked like he was living like his best life in his like little bowl, I would say. But yeah, I mean, he was a nice frog. I enjoyed looking at him when I came back from like school, and like he just took the stress away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that kind of ties in a little bit with what you guys were saying too about like time management as well. Because when you have an animal there, they rely on you. I mean, hamsters, frogs, cats, dogs, lizards, whatever pet you have, they rely on you. There's like your pet might be a part of your life, but you are their whole life. They rely on you for food, they rely on you for mental stimulation, physical stimulation. When you have the animal, you also have to make sure you're carving out time in your day. That's partially spending time with them, but also making sure that you're meeting their needs. And having a pet as a kid can also help to prepare you for adulthood and setting aside the time for responsibilities. I do have somebody who's in our chat who wants to know a little bit more about the Friday Figuring It Out podcast.
Yeah, so as a core member of the Friday Figuring It Out podcast, I can tell you that we're all about promoting that healthier lifestyle, whether it be through exercise and through diet, as well as we've seen in our previous podcast episode on the podcast about we were trying different protein drinks and what electrolytes you should pick, and the difference between them, because there's so many variations of those, and it's really important what goes in and out of your body. And we, as a member of the Friday podcast, I'm privileged to be here on the Wednesday podcast so we could connect the ideas of what
Yeah.
we're talking about and how, and you said you were a dog trainer, right?
Yeah.
And how we can talk about the emotional support our pets can give us, as well as promoting that healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
As since they're living beings and we're all living beings, we all need movement, right, to function
Absolutely.
on a daily basis. And I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts with how do you think pets should, like, for somebody who's starting out and with a pet, how do you think they could incorporate that into, living a healthier lifestyle?
Yeah. Okay. I would take a dog example, for example,
Mhm.
right? If you get a dog, getting a dog is not just having a pet. It also means a bigger step that you have to actually take care of this dog, right? You have to make sure that he lives, he gonna be with you, and everything like that. So let's say dog needs feeding, it needs walking outside. It also, you might not realize, but make you disciplined.
Mhm.
And also, let's say dog requires walk outside, right? You can take this time, walk outside like 30, 40, 1 hour, right? And it also makes you like feel better walking outside. Also is one little step towards healthy life, I
Yeah.
would say.
Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said there weren't times where I've been sitting for 4 hours and I'm like, probably take the dog outside. And that was the only reason why I got off the couch that day. The
Wow.
only reason.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are people at home who are probably the same as me, and so I don't feel bad about myself, and nobody's allowed to judge me. But there's also the aspect where you have to think about their diet as well.
Yeah. I can tell you that as a hamster owner myself, I tend to give him sometimes processed food, which is not the best for the hamster. But even through this podcast, I learned that they need those natural foods,
Right.
like carrots, lettuce, cucumbers,
Mhm.
the list goes on. And having those natural foods really makes a difference for the hamster's movement.
Yeah.
Because he can be in a hamster ball and a hamster cage, but I can see the way he moves and his energy levels based on what he eats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what would you guys say for your cat and for the dogs?
Yeah, for my cat also, I do my research for what's the best for their cats, their lifestyles. If I want to more athletic cat, I would say, I'll make sure that they got enough carbs, protein, and all that. I'm more of a, I like more fit cats, not the fat ones that just walk around and sleep all day.
Right.
So I do my research to make sure they do healthier way and they also feel happy about it. Now I'm not
Absolutely.
making them starve just to make them look skinny.
Mhm.
I'll make sure they're full enough, energized enough,
Yeah.
and happy with their lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And same goes for us. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not going to be living the best life if we're not eating right.
Yep.
Yeah.
With my dog, I have Siren. I struggled so hard when I first got her to get her to eat anything. Like, she was just the world's pickiest eater. She gets that from her mom. So it took a lot of research, and it got to the point where I was legitimately meal prepping breakfast and lunch for my dog.
Oh, wow.
And then I felt bad about myself because I'm meal prepping breakfast and dinner for my dog. Why am I eating McDonald's? If I'm in the kitchen anyways.
Yeah, it's like a reality check. It's like
Yeah.
if I'm giving him a healthier lifestyle, I might as well give myself
Yeah.
a healthy lifestyle.
I'm already in the kitchen, I'm already cooking, but it's
Yeah.
also how are we going to, as responsible pet owners, fully fulfill our animal? How are you going to be able to make the money to provide for your hamster or your frog or your cat? How are you going to be able to get out of bed to walk your dog if you're not taking care of yourself? You can't fully fulfill your animal unless you also put yourself in the mix.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Prit?
I would definitely say that owning a pet is like the first step into adulthood, especially if you don't pay your own taxes, your rent, or anything like that. Because now you have a big responsibility I feel like most people aren't used to. Like, even before you decide to get a pet, you have to do, like what you said, research on, like,
Right.
what food is toxic for them. Like, for dogs, it's like chocolate and stuff like that. You have to know that shit. You have to know that beforehand. And then you have to know and then you have to know, you have to research on what kind of breed that you want and stuff like that.
And especially what you said last about finding the animal that's right for you. Because if I were to give Mike the hamster, if I were to give Preet the cats, if I
Yeah.
were to give you my dog,
Yeah.
if I were to take the frog, I don't think any of us would be fully fulfilled as ourselves, and I don't think the pets will be fully fulfilled either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really a lot that goes into it, but I think no matter what it is, as long as you're finding the one that's right
Yeah.
for you. And I mean, even especially with cats, there are so many different breeds. We have Maine Coons at home, which are a lot more similar to the dogs. So I think they're a very good fit.
Mhm.
I don't think a standard like a tabby cat would fit well
Yeah.
in my particular household. But with that being said, maybe my Maine Coon wouldn't fit well into your household.
Yeah.
What do you guys think if you had to pick like one dream animal that you think you could perfectly fulfill and you think could also fulfill you at the same time? What would you think it would be?
Let's start with Mike.
I would still say any cat breed.
Any
Yeah.
cat breed? Any dream cat? Any particular breed in particular?
No.
No? You just like the cats?
Yeah, just cats. I grew up with stray cats,
Uh-huh.
and in Georgia, we have a lot of stray cats. So I was
Mm.
also taking care of them. So it was like from the beginning, I felt a connection with the animals. So
Right. Were they just like outdoor cats
Yeah,
or did you
yeah,
ever
I'll-
take them in?
yeah, outdoor cats.
Nice. Nice.
I would say for me, like a dream animal, I would say it was probably like a Rottweiler, or like a Kangal, like a big dog. I feel like, not only will like it'll be better for them because like we're taking care of them. I feel like they would also help motivate me to go outside, take care of them, play with them.
Right.
Yeah,
And if you need a good trainer, I know somebody.
yeah, I'll hit you up.
I know this is very far away from a hamster, but I do believe I should channel in to my inner Mike Tyson, and I think I could take care of a tiger one day. Not just because of the size, but I also think it's like a tameable animal that could kill you at any point. But it's also that sense of responsibility, that comes with that sheer size
Mm.
of a cat, right?
Yep.
Would you take care of a tiger?
I would take a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No risk, no reward. You know what they say.
Yep.
And I think I do have to get through a couple of hamsters before I take that role as a tiger.
Yeah.
Maybe let's start with the tabby.
Yeah,
Let's see how that goes.
maybe guinea pig, then ferret,
Yeah.
then
Work your way up.
yeah,
Work
you
your way
know.
up the, up the chain, going up in size. Someone said, I'm so impressed with how conscious you are about health and lifestyle choices. I went to Penn State main campus and lost a year to partying, drinking, crappy food. How do you keep yourself on track while others get sucked into similar college scenes? I guess, how do you not fall into the usual cycle or the stereotype of college kids?
I can start.
Good
I
question.
would not say that I don't fall, but I would say I know my limits. Like I know my limits, when to stop partying, having fun. While I also feel like when I leave the party, oh, I had fun, but now I gotta study, and I make sure that I get that done. That's the discipline part about it. Like being able to have fun, do all the homework, get ready for the class. I would say that takes discipline, and if you have a discipline, I would say you can do it. Achieve it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with him on the same lines of that. Like, if you do it, like, say, let's say you have homework for a sample, even if you do go out partying and all that, like, if you set small goals for yourself, like each day you do a little bit of your work every day, then I feel like that'll become as less of a big problem.
Mm.
As long as you just know, like, your goals and as long as you're locked in. I would say you wouldn't obviously go partying, like, the day or, like, even a couple days before, like, a test or anything. So you just have to know like what your priorities are, and just keep pushing forward, I guess.
I'll go a different approach from them. I feel like to experience the partying and those distractions is necessary to understand the consequences of that, because some people don't understand the consequences of that. And once you suffer those consequences, you understand that it's all about sacrifice at the end of the day. And this goes back to our healthier lifestyle, not giving into your cravings, Instead of sitting on the couch watching another TV episode, you're going out on the treadmill, or you're going on for a walk with your dogs, or you're going to go for a run or go to the gym. It goes to the same thing. Instead of watching or hanging out with your friends, right? Everyone's saying, let's go out, let's go out. I say, no, I have to study. I have an exam in 3 days. I need to get a good grade on this. And like the more and more you think about it, it's those situations happen more and more frequently as you grow up. Especially as a college student, I can say that as a second year, because college is the first time I would say for a lot of people they have that first sense of freedom, you could say, away from home. I know a lot of friends that they were on crazy curfew hours back in high school, and they got out to college and they crumbled because their parents not telling them you got to be home by 11 p.m.
Right.
They're up until 5 6 a.m. Doing whatever. And that's a lifestyle that hopefully, I hope everyone knows that is not sustainable in the long run, because not only is it a toll on your mental health, it's a toll on your emotional and physical health in the long run. And until you learn the consequences that in that question, like the partying and drinking and going out, you won't. There's so much more to life than just that. And whatever you might be chasing, whether it would be the weight loss journey or getting that grade on that test or on that exam or getting that final grade, it means so much more to you than that temporary pleasure, whatever it might
Right.
be.
Right. Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
mean, I know you said to enjoy the journey, but sometimes if the journey breaks down your car, is the journey really worth it? So to speak.
Yeah.
We also have somebody wondering, she says she has so many nieces and nephews graduating and about to go off to college. Can each of you give a piece of practical advice you find most helpful in staying healthy and focused? So something a little bit more than the discipline, like an actual, like maybe skill or a tool that you've used throughout your process in college or your journey in college so far.
I would say being able to cook
Cooking?
helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to cook, you can, once time passes, like you can think top of your head by given, let's say, 3 ingredients, how to cook it healthy. That comes first in the mind, and also you open, how would I say, like opportunities for yourself to being healthier, living healthier life. Let's say instead of going to McDonald's, spending $20 on Big Mac meal, you can just pay $20 for the product, and it could last you for 5 days if you manage it, know how to cook and eat.
Yeah, absolutely. Meal sizes, portions. A lot of the times too, if you buy in bulk, it can stretch you for
Yeah.
months. So you spend a little bit more, but it lasts so much longer. What would you guys say?
I would say, like, for me especially, I would say start small. Like, I know, for me personally, I don't really eat breakfast, but I eat like a protein bar every morning.
Mhm.
I would say just like eat like a little bit here and there, just like so that you're not hungry, like you don't feel that hunger or that need to like be always eating. Because I know for me, for one, sometimes when I'm hungry, I just can't say no to like whatever, and I just be like eating way more than I should. So I would just say, yeah, just like because a diet's all about sacrifices and whatnot, and sometimes you have to like say maybe I won't get fries with my burger today, and start small somewhere.
Yeah, this is also not about spending money and just eating. It's also about our well-being, I would say,
Mhm.
because in the long run, once you get all those nutrients, feel happy, you also, when you live healthy life, you feel good about yourself, and also it helps you on a long run. Like you're not mentally down when you have 3 exams. You're not mentally down that, oh my God, I'm living not a healthy life.
Yeah,
You can say, I'm feeling good. My mental is the right place. I can do it. What's the next
Yeah.
step?
setting yourself
Yeah.
up for success.
Is on the prize. I would say a little bit different. I would say in college, you can find yourself in situations where it gets tedious and boring and it's unpleasant, I'll say. But I think the best resolution I had for that is picking up a new habit. And they could go, that habit could be expanded into so many different categories, whether it be towards planning and have an actual planner, planning out your day, saying from 8 to 9, I'm doing this. From 9 to 10, I'm doing this. 10 to 12, I'm eating. 12 to 1, I have classes. It goes like that. Or again, it could be the cooking, picking up a new skill, or it could be doing a completely new sport. You know, I'm the president of chess club at Thomas Jefferson University, and I can tell you I've influenced a lot of people to play chess for the first time or get back into chess. You know, after a quite eventful break, and then it goes into even more things like meeting new people, trying other different clubs, and you know, with those new habits, and you don't want to do it all at once, right? You want to take it at a slow approach, like Prit said, and if you build those new habits, like again, building a new instrument, you can literally see the change in yourself and healing your way, you know, to becoming a better person.
Like that drop.
Yeah.
That was a good drop. That was
I
good.
have a question for you guys. So, as Alex said before, would you consider like partying and all that stuff like a wake up call in like people's freshman year or sophomore years?
I'll start off. I'll say as a last year I was a freshman, I can tell you that I did certainly do my time partying and going out and having fun. And my grades did suffer a little bit from it, and I did learn my lesson. And this year, I've kept that at quite a minimal,
Mhm.
and replaced those with better habits. And I've seen that with my grades and got the better scores. But I do think that it's like a dangerous path to go down, because if you're giving yourself pleasure and you're with that pleasure is connected to dopamine, and if you keep giving your body dopamine, your body wants to feed into that, and everybody's different. Some people might not be able to let go of that.
Mm.
So I think I was lucky. I was able to get a control of myself and say that this is not right. You can't be doing this. So I would say for me it was a wake up call.
How would you say that other people should deal with like FOMO, like the fear of missing out?
So if can you like give a
Okay,
situation?
I will tell you. For that, I would say I would not tell people to not do it because forbidden fruit always tastes better. I would say experience it, know your limits, and that's it. Once you know your limits, stop there. You gotta think ahead of your time. Like think in the future. Think about what's gonna happen tomorrow. And if you know your limits, I would say that will help a lot. And besides like your question, I would like to go back to their questions and what advice they would like. I would say surround yourself with the right people because I met these guys, Helen Your Ways, Sahan, Alex, all the other guys behind the scenes this year, and they motivated me to actually follow the better path of my health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so much easier to make better decisions when the people around you are also making those same decisions.
We're even one of the people that we got recruited into Chess Club by him.
Yeah, you know, I'm always about, you know, spreading energy and, you know, recruiting people for the positive energy and vibes, you know. And I was able to have a positive influence on both of you. Yeah. And we met through the library, right? Because
Yeah.
we met through another, we actually met through Michael, and Michael was picking up a new skill, learning Italian. And that's how we connected off of Italian music. And that's the beauty of it, I would say. You know, the community, because you can pick up on that good energy and sense that you want to have like a strive for a better
Yeah.
life and strive for better and new habits, like we were saying.
Yeah. Especially, and like you were saying with the like the dopamine hits in learning your new skills and meeting your new friends, that can also be a different way to like not fully replace but help to subside
Yeah.
some of those not so desirable behaviors, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah.
better to have other people on the journey with you than a solo journey. It
Yeah.
certainly makes the journey more enjoyable,
Mhm.
pleasant, and I would say easier as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Someone to bounce off of. Have you ever been in a position where you felt like you had to intervene with a friend making unhealthy choices? Did you intervene, and how did you do it without looking holier than thou?
I would say y'all guys did it to me. Made me look towards better. Put me on the right path, man.
Oh, so you were on the receiving end
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing and what did they do to you?
I would say not working out, not eating well. I told them that I knew how to cook, and they like shared the recipes with me how to cook better, like what's the healthier way. Also, they made me start working out, which I really enjoy, and I feel much better about myself. Yeah.
But did they do it in a nice way?
Yeah, they introduced. They tried it. I would say not not sugarcoating things helps a lot. I would say that.
Yeah.
Being blunt. So
Yep.
you're receptive to people being like, hey,
Yep.
you're screwing up. You need to fix it. We're
Yeah.
going to the gym.
Yeah, I support that.
Okay. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Sorry.
What worked for me though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody's different. So if
Yeah,
that
that's-
worked for you and that was the wake up call that you needed, then I'm happy that you found it because now you're on this journey with them.
Yeah.
Alex, Preet, did you have any?
I guess it's all about like finding an approach to the problem and like finding a solution that you can both work on together. I feel like for me, like most of my friends, like we usually like we all hang out around each other, so I feel like most of us have like the same problem, but we all like recognize that like it's a problem and we try to strive like for greatness together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I'm gonna go a little bit more personal to home. My parents have asked me to help out my younger brother, who isn't as willing to try out new things as other people are, and I do think we are opposites. You know, I grew up playing a lot of sports, but he liked to read books. He was way more enjoyable for him than for me, for example. And of course, there are benefits to that. He was a quick learner compared to me. But at some point, you have to realize that, you know, everybody needs to live that healthy lifestyle, whether you like it or not. Of course, there's degrees about what level of healthy you are, but there's also the expectation of what you should be hitting, you know, whether it be cardio, would be basic movement, playing a sport. Because some people are really against that, you know. And it's about starting at very slow steps, you know. So for it was a hard journey. Now he goes to the gym 6 times a week,
Good for him.
but it used to be bad. He used to be right after school. He would just stay at home, and now he's picking up new sports like basketball and tennis. And I don't know if ping pong count as a sport.
There's movement.
No,
There's movement.
there's some movement. No, not buying it for you.
Not for me.
Forrest Gump would be very sad
I would
right
say
now.
it will help you to stay fit.
Ping pong?
Yeah.
You know what my Kumon teacher told me?
Mm.
She said it's called ping pong for losers, but table tennis for winners. But
I see the vision. I see the vision.
yeah. But now he's in a better place, and I'm happy that I was able to have that influence on him, because he was not budging at all. But I told him that you need to start slow, and I think for most people the hardest part is making that initial and starting step. So for him, it would literally just be 15 minutes, like 2 speed, 0 incline on the treadmill, and you would probably burn maybe like 60 calories total. But that was good enough already because he's starting from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And you can just build off of that.
And I think part of it could also just be finding what's right for that individual person.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had friends that they absolutely hated the gym atmosphere, hated the grunting, the slamming, the cleaner gave them a headache or whatever they said. But there's always an option for somebody. So if you just want to go to the park and go for a run,
Yeah.
like there's something different for everybody. So if their way of starting off is going for a walk around the park, and then you talk them into going to the gym with you, and you're walking on the treadmill,
Yeah.
then you can get them in the free weights.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're scared of the free weights, so you start on the machines. Or maybe, hey, let's go try a class. And now everybody's doing Zumba. Whatever works.
I feel like a lot of it is just like taking the time and effort just to like spend time with that person. I feel like a little motivation goes a long way
Yeah.
because there's someone else doing it with you, and that like you're not alone in this. Like even like taking time to like explore other options, like other hobbies. Like for me, for one, like I never thought I would like hiking, but like I did it one time with a group of friends. One time we went on a trip, and I love hiking, so like I would like to do it again.
So you found that thing.
Yeah.
We have quite a few.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Quite
So-
the audience.
I'm new to the podcast. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
I started doing it. I would say it helps. It helps definitely because I met this guys when it was March.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, March. It helped me lost quite a few pounds actually. And also, if you do it the right way, and make sure you get enough electrolytes, protein, to make your body like still going when you're not eating, it definitely helps and get you in better situation. I would say.
So like how do you do intermittent fasting, and would you like recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it. For me, I stopped eating around 8 o'clock and eat like lunch next day, 12, 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
And it was, I mean, for my situation, like in the college, definitely not late time, but morning time is much easier because I got morning classes.
Mhm.
So whenever I just finish, I'm done, I just go grab some lunch, But for the, I would say between the breaks, drink a dark coffee. It helps to, like kill the hunger in it, the
Mhm.
hunger feeling, and I would say stay hydrated. Definitely helps.
That's awesome. Did you guys teach them the trick?
Um,
Or is that something that you found on your own?
Yeah, I found.
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, I don't know about Alex, but I've tried intermittent fasting before, and I can say like it's probably not for me because I don't think I have like I don't know if I can resist not eating after 8 o'clock for me. So that's why I would say it's like important to make sure that you eat a little bit like throughout the time frame that you are allowed to eat,
Mhm.
so that you don't feel like that need to eat after when you're not supposed to. Because I think it's like you're not supposed to eat after that time because you're giving your body
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to
Digest it.
digest like optimally.
But it's all about the small steps that we take throughout the journey, right? Let's say
Yeah.
eat at 9 o'clock and stop eating at 9 instead of 8. Some people don't eat after 6 o'clock,
How-
but they started from 9 o'clock.
What was like the ratio? It was like 8 to 16,
Hours, I
Yeah.
guess, right? It's
Yeah.
like 12 to 16.
12 to 16.
yeah, I would say I had to do it regardless because of wrestling, just because I had to make weight. But I would say for people starting out, I would not recommend it because it can be very harsh.
Mm.
And if you take like he said, he stops at 8 p.m. But if you make that first date change from 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m., it's a very drastic change.
Mm.
So, and that could be very demotivating, and I can tell you when you first trying with weight loss, some people take a really drastic route
Mhm.
and it's like setting yourself up for failure. And
Right.
because it leads to headaches,
Yeah.
nausea. It's not the best. So, and this is actually leading to our challenge as we are all going to be trying out a different diet plan that is healthy and sustainable.
Mhm.
And we're going to see which one works best for us. Some people might like theirs, some people might not. And then hopefully the viewers can see who, based on who's said theirs was like the most enjoyable and sustainable, they could try it out theirs or try somebody else's out.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a little insight for you guys there.
Little sneaky
A
peek.
little sneak peek. Don't tell no one.
It stays here.
So it's not just about what works, but what you can maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if it works if you can't maintain it.
Yeah, it's like if you get to that goal weight, you're not gonna just go back to your original weight, right?
Mhm.
You want to stay at that weight where you
Yeah.
look good and you feel
Mhm.
comfortable and confident, right?
Right.
Because that's the whole goal. We're not here just to help you get the a weight loss. We're here to help you sustain and maintain.
Yeah.
You know, the whole point is healing your way, but we're going to make you stay that way.
I think that's the biggest thing is that everybody wants to jump on the fitness fads or the fitness trends, and everybody goes all in all at once, but they forget to make it part of their lifestyle. Their
Yeah.
lifestyle has to be sustainable, or else you'll get exactly where you need to be, and then you'll fall off and end up worse than you were at step one.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to regress in that way.
Yeah, and it's very difficult as well because you're moving from, especially us as college kids, we're moving from different environments all the time.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
have, as a female viewer, how do I, oh, sorry guys. How do I stay healthy without falling into obsession, compulsion, and or eating disorder? Any chance you'll be adding some females to your group? From experience, first and foremost, I changed a lot of what I looked at online because it's very easy to go online and fall into like the Fitspo spiral where like we've all seen it. It's the girls in the magazines who are size 0, itty bitty. And instead I started looking at like Rhea Ripley. You know, she's strong. I stopped thinking about I want to look skinny and instead I want to feel healthy. Because I can go to the gym and I can work out for 12 hours a day, but then I'm drained and I don't have energy to do anything after. But if I go to the gym and instead I lift the weight, I go home and now I know that I can still change my tire if I have to. I can still wrangle the dogs if I have to. I can walk a 150-pound Bernese mountain dog easily, but I couldn't do that if I was focused on being a size 0. And that's also not to say that the male viewers or the males in general in the world also aren't so super focused on body image and physique. I mean, I worked in the gym industry for 6 years. Physique is usually the biggest thing. We have people coming in, slamming their hands on the table, I want to be a bodybuilder. But you see the bodybuilders walking in on the week of their show where they're dehydrating, they're not eating because they need to look lean, they need to be striated. I mean, they're miserable. The first thing that they do after the show is they go and they grab a cookie.
Yeah.
I mean, the balance between obsessing over how you look and how you look doesn't matter if you don't feel well. You can't maintain how you look if you don't feel well. You're not going to make it into the gym if you don't have the energy to get out of bed.
Would you say it's something that you should be enjoying as you're going through that?
Oh,
lifestyle?
110%. And I feel like really a lot of it is being more kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Because going to the gym used to be a compulsion for me where it's I have to look this way, I have to look this way, I have to look this way. But now it's, you know, I had a bad day. Let me just go get the endorphins. Let me go so I can feel good. I mean, the mindset that goes into it is challenging. I mean, if it does get to the point where you can't stop focusing on your weight and you can't stop obsessing over it, throw away your scale. The numbers don't matter. I mean, 110% because I stand at 5'8". 180 pounds for me is healthy. That's where I should be. But if you're 6'4" and you're 180 pounds, that might be a problem. We could all be 5'1", and you can be 150, you can be 180, you can be 100, but our body types can be different. Let's also not forget that body types play a really huge factor. You could be naturally lean, and that's what a lot of the people online are, where they have the naturally flat tummies. Some people have flared rib cages. Some people are just built to be more muscular.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, and especially like as men who, if I'm speaking stereotypically and I apologize, you're
all good.
more so focused on physique where you do the lat spread.
Yeah.
And we all have that one friend that has a harder time putting on muscle. We all have that one friend who has a harder time dropping body fat. But everybody's body's built differently.
Yeah. And I can say that for the men, I think the hardest realization they have
Yeah.
to come to with the gym progress is that you should not be comparing yourself to any model or
100%.
athlete, and the only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself and the
Yes.
version that you were yesterday. and if you made some sort of improvement to become that better version today.
Progress pictures.
That's what I'm talking about.
Progress pictures, because also those people that they want to compare themselves to, first of all, steroids play a huge factor. They have coaches. They're paying people to control every single calorie that they put into their body, to write up every single workout plan, and their entire life is that workout plan. And this is coming from somebody who has seen the behind the scenes aspect of it. I set up people to buy those workout plans, you know? So I have a little bit of insider knowledge when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But you can only be a better version of who you were yesterday. The one over at Remedy 365, he says 1% better every day.
Oh, I like that one.
1% better every day. And he was the best guy that I ever worked for. That guy's amazing. Off of my tangent now. I really appreciate the one speaker's honesty about not being able to stay on track. Sometimes I think when we learn from our failures, sometimes I think we learn better from our failures than our successes. Fail up. Thank you for your transparency and your courage. Anyone else have any failure stories we can learn from?
You want to start first, Mike?
Yeah, sure. I would say I was always a little chubby kid. And I actually, before I came to States, I actually was doing this healthy lifestyle. I actually was able to lose a lot of weight. And then I enjoyed myself being skinny. I liked it. But when I came to the state, all those discipline, time management went out the window. I started giving into this unhealthy lifestyle, which I was not enjoying. But thing is, I'm back on right track, right? For me, the life perspective is finding happiness in little things and making your journey like part of your life, which makes you happy. Yep.
What do you think made you fall off? Like, what do you think broke the habit when you moved here?
I would say change of the environment,
Right.
definitely. Food in Europe, like we live for organic stuff. Like I had all my greens, veggies, everything was grown in my yard. I had cows, chickens. Yeah, I was eating healthy first of all. Organic stuff helps a lot. Stay in the shape, feel you better. And
So would you say when you came here it was like a culture shock because you saw like fast food everywhere, McDonald's and processed food?
yeah, I guess that was a big part of me going off my way.
Because I heard stories like people, they could eat the same thing in the States and they would go to Europe, eat the same thing, but still end up losing weight, like eating the same amount.
I think some of it could be portion sizing.
Maybe. I just thought it may be like because of the extra things that we put in our food to make it,
Preservatives.
Yeah.
to appeal it to the consumers.
And there's like 3 pounds of butter,
Yeah.
like everything in America now.
Yeah.
You got to keep track. We talked about this a couple episodes ago of what goes in and out of your bodies.
Yep.
Taking those few extra minutes, reading the back of the label and the nutrition facts of what is contained and the percentage of what's contained in there goes a long way. And taking those few extra minutes, it might be a little tedious, might get a little unmotivating, but I'm telling you, you'll be thanking, and your body will be thanking you in the long run.
Look for organic substitutes. It might cost like a little extra $1 or $2, but for a long journey, it's good for yourself.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And I love, by the way, how in depth you guys go on your Friday podcast, and where you're not just saying, oh, well, you have to, but you're actually giving examples of how to follow through. I love that. I just wanted to throw that in there
Yeah,
that you guys
thank
are
you.
doing a wonderful job. There's a lot of really cool tidbits that you guys put out. But has there been anything in particular that you guys can think of? Maybe you've tried, you failed, went back, tried again, succeeded?
In terms of like foods or in terms of like,
Anything.
I could go on for hours and hours about the different diet plans I tried to do to lose weight for wrestling, wearing 3 sweaters and, eating 5 calories one day, and then not 500, sorry, 500 calories one day, and then eating 5,000 the next day.
Right.
And that's not, I don't recommend that at all, because the headaches are unbelievable. But I would say, I think I'll just touch on just for this episode is for cravings, because I do believe cravings is a big part.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone talks about don't give in to your cravings, but I will tell you that as important diet is, it's okay to have that cheat day, you could say, or cheat meal as a way for your body to reset. And you know, all the influencers out there, even those models, they be having their cheat days too. So it's not like you're on a lone journey as this one. And if you don't have that cheat day, eventually you will binge. And,
Right.
and then that's how you set yourself back. And that's actually what happened to me. The first time I went on a weight loss cut and I didn't make the weight for wrestling, but as soon as wrestling season ended, I ballooned another 40 pounds in the span of, I think, 3 weeks.
Right.
Obviously not healthy in any sort of way, but I would say rewarding yourself after, you know, sticking to a plan. It could be one cheat day for every week or one every 2 weeks is, I wouldn't say optional, but I'd say even mandatory. So
Yeah.
you can keep yourself in check. And for me, I can say it's something I look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and then you have to go back in the tunnel. But that's besides the point, because for me, when I was 16, I was really looking forward to Cheesecake Factory. The cheesecakes really got me there. I'm telling you, I would go to bed the previous night before the cheat day. I'd be like, tomorrow's going to be such a good day. I'm going to have a cheesecake. And then I think I lived off that grind for 6 months. Just that singular cheesecake.
You just had to keep dreaming about
Yeah.
it. I know for me, when I was trying to join the military, I had to drop from 175 to 150 in the span of a month before I went to MEPS.
Oh.
Did not make it, by the way. I ended up having to do tape, so they did like the measurements, and that was fine. But dropping that much weight in such a short amount of time, I know by the time I got out of MEPS and I didn't have to worry about seeing a scale again for another few months, the first thing I did was I went to Wendy's, and then I had Skittles. Because when you're not able to have those things for so long, like that's all your brain can think about, which is exactly what the bodybuilders do after their shows.
Yep.
They go and they eat like the greasiest burgers and like the French fries, and then they feel sick after.
Yeah.
So I think you're right on par with making sure you're incorporating it every now and then, and that way your sweet treat doesn't make you feel horrendous
Yeah. So
after you have it.
so your sweet treat doesn't become your main treat.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the cheat meal. Not I said cheat day, but I meant cheat meal.
Yeah.
Eating unhealthy the whole day will not help you.
Like a little cheat snacky snack.
Yeah,
A
something
little
like
cheat
that.
snack. Have yourself a Snickers bar, and then something healthy
Oh yeah,
for
what's
dinner.
what's your guys' go-to cheat meal? Let's hear it.
cheat meal.
So,
I mean, it's not for me. Yeah. Because I just started, so I cannot have cheat meal yet. What's your cheat meal, man?
I'm a sucker for Alfredo.
Alfredo.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oof.
They're so good, bro.
What's yours?
I'd say donuts, the ones with custard filled.
Mm.
I could kill a whole box of those.
Go-to donut.
Yeah. It's a Georgian, the ponchiki.
One chicken.
Ponchiki. How would you describe it?
It's like fried dough with basically Boston cream in it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like kind of
Really thin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dough's really thin. And they put sugar, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
Like the
powdered
powdered
over it.
sugar.
sugar bar. Yeah.
Yeah,
one.
sugar
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah, they have there's a spot in Jersey, I can't remember what it's called, my granddad would know. But they've got like the best. They're not quite as thin. They're more so Polish.
Mhm.
But they have like the powdered sugar on them. They're cream filled. So every time my uncle comes from California, that's the first thing he does is he stops in Jersey, and then he comes over. He's like, "Got the donuts.
Oh.
Got the donuts."
And you have to watch out for those ones because it's like $250 per one, like minimum. That's a small one. The big
Yeah.
one could go up to like 500.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, no, and somebody has to stop me if I'm not if it's not there to share and I got it for myself, I'm in big trouble.
You need to have your cheat meal supervised.
Yeah, no, or I have to like put like a lock on the fridge or something. not, I'm playing.
And there's stuff like insomnia cookies, bro. It's like 1,000 calories for one cookie, but but they taste so good. And Nifty 50s milkshakes. I could go on.
50/50s.
Yeah.
Those ones are
I
good.
would like to add something. If anyone is interested about this craving and how can we substitute these things, we had an episode on one of the Friday episodes was about that. They took a deep dive and talked about every substitute
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can think of, whether it's chips, fruit, sweets.
Mhm.
So I would definitely suggest to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, you can find it on
Yeah.
YouTube and Rumble. You might be able to still find the clips up on Instagram as well. So there's a
Yeah.
few different places you can view
Yeah.
it. But you guys really do put out a whole bunch of really good stuff. I think we are nearing the end of our time for today. So I want to thank you guys again so much for joining me on What's Up Wednesday. I will for sure be tuning in for Figuring It Out on Friday. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week for What's Up Wednesday with the professionals at the round table. I'm your host, Tara. This is brought to you by Healing Your Way. Find us on